Now, in the middle of the countryside, near to Upton-upon-Severn, lies Herefordshire and Worcestershire's newest music venue. Because Three Counties Live is a business which helps put on virtual unplugged gigs which are streamed online. So instead of cramming in with the crowds at an indoor venue or getting drenched at one of our summer music festivals, we can settle into the comfort of your own home and put the gig on the telly. But the extra bit of fun here is that you can interact with the artist. So it's not just a recorded video on YouTube, which you then have on in the background. You can actually immerse yourself in the concert in real time. And for the artists, well, it's a source of income as the events are ticketed. Well, as soon as we heard about this from Malvern's Carol Lee Sampson, who we're playing at the moment, we had to go and pop down. And our reporter Oscar Lee Gambina went to go and meet the genius behind the creation, Bob Cartwright.
So we're in the studio in your back garden, but it's a lot more advanced, it's a lot more fun than that. Can you explain a brief background of where we are?
The room we're in is inside a shed. It's a very large shed. And it sits in a garden, which is also a very large garden. I say that, it's actually an orchard, it's a couple of acres, an orchard. I've been doing studio production and live streaming and so on for a different industry for a few years now. And with the way COVID has obviously impacted the entertainment industry, I've come across a lot of people in the entertainment world who have said naturally that their finances, their incomes have dried up completely. And thankfully, they're coming out to doing more gigs now, but everybody's a bit nervous about how many gigs to put on and if the people are going to attend and so on. I've built this purpose-built live streaming studio for something else. And as coincidence would happen, I've been speaking to these artists, but of course nobody's actually geared up for it 100%. It's more a case of people try it with the phone and off to YouTube. But think of Jules Holland. Jules Holland unplugged in a small studio in the heart of Worcestershire, and the bottom line is we sell tickets, the performers get benefit from that.
And there are two sides to this. There's the side for the fans and the side for the artists. We'll talk about the artists first. Mm-hmm. What sort of thing can they expect here? Because there's a microphone and a chair in the centre of the room. It's almost like a live lounge, but for Worcestershire. And there's all these cameras set up and everything. What's available to them here?
As you say, the room is about 40 square metres, something like that. Big enough for 2-3 performers with average sort of equipment. Everything is on wheels, so the whole studio moves around. The front end's surrounded by animated lights, moving heads, all the rest of it. There's smoke machines, there's everything to create some atmosphere. I've just shown you a video that I did at the weekend with an artist that came in, Carol Lee Sampson, and she loved it and recognised immediately the potential of having a small gathering in here and sending the signal out. And we've got a small mixing desk, so everything's DI'd into the mixing desk. Well, you heard the quality. It just goes straight out. It's TV quality, basically.
It really is. It's perfect quality. It's not just what someone did in their living room in the months of lockdown. It's proper studio quality. You could record an album here, probably, as a live album, and you could do a gig but still have that intimate feel be sent across the camera. It's lovely.
But no fairy tale end. Look what happened to this ordinary boy.
It's not just a one-way trip as regards you're performing and it's going out and you have no idea who's watching you, because we're also bringing in data off the internet. So you could have people watching you in America or Australia, they can tweet their comments and the comments appear on the screen in front of you, so you can react to those comments. So you can actually talk to the people directly and get an instant response from them.
And that's where the side for the fans come in, because you can tweet your artist and then they can respond back. But instead of it being at a festival where you can only just see a small blob on a stage, you're up close, but you can still have a proper gig experience.
You can bring other things into it. So it's not just, here I am in front of the mic. It is, okay, let's just play a bit of video about this next track. Here's a little bit of a background how I wrote this track. We can do a Zoom type call and we can bring in an audience watching in Australia. And you can see them on the screen and talk directly to them. There's so much flexibility about what can be done. You'll get a whole experience of being in a TV studio for future reference. You'll walk away with actually a copy of the video as well. It's actually so flexible, it's very hard to describe.
That little bit more, it's like a little piece of her is gone.
I'm looking for artists. That's the reason I've contacted you guys. I'm looking for solo, duos, trios possibly. You've seen the amount of space. We could probably get 3 people in here. who have got a good social media following that are up for a live stream. Things go wrong in a live stream, but that's part of the fun. It's like you're on stage with your audience, you know? And ultimately they benefit from it financially as well. So it's a win-win, really.
But they don't necessarily have to worry about the equipment because you provide most stuff.
Everything. All they have to do is rock up with the gear. They can have their own guy on the mixer if that makes life easier. It certainly makes my life easier because I've got several things going on at the same time. I've got space for a small entourage, 2 or 3 people. It's very compact and bijou, but it's intimate.
And are there any extra layers that you're going to add to it, or is it just this for the foreseeable future?
The final thing is hybrid. Your venue might say hold 100 people, but actually you've only got 50 there. So there's nothing stopping me rock up with my portable setup, it's a 4-camera setup, and stream it from your event. Ultimately, they are selling more tickets than they could do if they pack the venue out. America have been ahead of us for a very long time. They've been doing this for the last 10 years. I've been watching America and how it's changed and how the equipment's developed and also how people have been using it. And you're getting all sorts of live streams from not just entertainment ones, but anything that's a sort of how to make a cake, how to do a cocktail, whatever it may be. And it's just a daytime stream that happens, and out of it they sell tickets for their events or venues or whatever. Looking across the pond, as it were, this is just normal practice now. Thanks to COVID, it's accelerated the interest in it here, and we are now starting to consider it. But of course, there's a big jump between doing it with your phone at home to this type of setup, where you've got everything taken care of, multiple cameras, you've got all the various lights going on as well at the same time. There's a lot to think about.
And when your first gig takes place, can you let us know and we can pop down?
Oh, I might mention it.
Bob Cart right there.
Unexpectedly.